Coco Gauff and WTA star slammed for neglecting critical tennis skills. Shocking critique by ex-world number 18. Tennis has always been a sport of evolution. From wooden rackets to graphite frames, from baseline battles to aggressive net play, the game constantly reinvents itself. But when former world number 18, Elena Kovaleva, recently spoke out about the modern WTA landscape, the tennis world collectively took notice. In an explosive interview, Kovaleva did not hold back, arguing that rising stars, including Coco Gauff, are neglecting fundamental skills that define previous generations. The critique reverberated across social media, sports channels, and tennis clubs worldwide, igniting debates about the future of women's tennis. The controversial statement. In a statement that caught many by surprise, Kovaleva said, "The game is changing, yes, but today's players are sacrificing versatility for power. They hit heavy from the baseline, rely on physicality, and often neglect the subtle skills, slice, touch, net play, court craft, that make champions truly complete. I see a lot of talent, but not enough artistry." Her comment specifically mentioned Coco Gauff, citing her explosive baseline game and unparalleled speed as extraordinary, but pointing out that she, along with several peers, rarely incorporates traditional tactical elements into match play. The implication was clear. Athleticism alone is not enough to dominate at the highest level consistently. Historical perspective. The evolution of women's tennis. To understand Kovaleva's critique, it's important to examine the trajectory of women's tennis. Legends like Martina Navratilova, Steffi Graf, and Monica Seles combine power with finesse, blending baseline dominance with net skills, slice variations, and intelligent point construction. Their games were not just about hitting hard. They were about adapting to every situation, reading opponents, and deploying a broad arsenal of strategies. In contrast, modern tennis emphasizes speed, strength, and baseline rallies. Advances in racket technology and sports science have made heavy topspin and aggressive ground strokes more effective, and the game's pace has increased dramatically. While this evolution has produced thrilling matches, Kovaleva argues that it comes at the expense of skill diversity. Coco Gauff, rising star in the spotlight. Coco Gauff, at just 19 years old, represents the new face of women's tennis. Her rise has been meteoric. A teenage sensation at Wimbledon, multiple WTA titles, and an ability to generate explosive pace from the baseline. Fans adore her tenacity, speed, and mental toughness. Coaches praise her athleticism and work ethic. Yet, according to Kovaleva, Gauff's talent is partially constrained by a lack of variety in her game. She is fast, she hits hard, but she rarely varies her shots. She doesn't employ the net enough. She underutilizes the slice, and sometimes her point construction is predictable. She could be unstoppable if she broadened her skill set, Kovaleva remarked. The art of court craft. Court craft, the ability to manipulate pace, direction, and spin to outsmart opponents, is what Kovaleva sees as missing in the modern WTA. Players who master this skill can neutralize power, control rallies, and exploit weaknesses with subtlety rather than brute force. Net play, in particular, is considered a dying art. Few young players rush the net with confidence. The majority rely on baseline consistency and heavy hitting. Historically, net approaches were a hallmark of champions. Navratilova's serve and volley strategy, for example, kept opponents off balance. Graf's slice backhand allowed her to control rallies. Kovaleva worries that by devaluing these skills, today's stars may reach performance ceiling earlier than expected. The pressure of modern tennis. Gauff's career has unfolded under the glare of intense public scrutiny. Young athletes today face not just competition, but media expectations, sponsorship obligations, and social media pressures. Kovaleva's critique, while controversial, underscores a broader question. Are players sacrificing technical development for physical dominance and rapid results? Coco herself has spoken candidly about her approach to the game. "I'm always learning," she said in a recent interview. "I watch matches. I study my opponents, and I try to incorporate new elements into my game. Tennis is about growth. There's always room to improve." While she hasn't publicly addressed Kovaleva's critique, her team has reportedly taken it as constructive, examining areas where adding variety can enhance her already formidable baseline game. WTA stars under the microscope. Gauff is not alone. Several top WTA players face similar assessments. Critics argue that the current generation emphasizes speed, power, and endurance at the expense of artistry. Points that once included slices, drop shots, and sudden net approaches are now often baseline slugfests. The game's evolution has made it faster and more physically demanding, but some say it risks monotony in strategy. Analysts point out that the modern WTA Tour rewards consistent winners who can endure long rallies. Training programs are heavily geared towards strength, conditioning, and shot repetition. This scientific approach produces spectacular results. Yet, Kovaleva warns that without mastering all aspects of the game, players may struggle in high-pressure situations where subtlety matters. Player reactions. Responses to Kovaleva's critique have been mixed. Fans defending Gauff argue that her adaptability, mental toughness, and athleticism are exactly what make her a champion. Looking ahead, as the WTA Tour moves forward, Coco Gauff remains a focal point for both admiration and scrutiny. Her career trajectory embodies the dynamic tension between modern power-based tennis and the subtlety of traditional skills. Kovaleva's critique, controversial as it is, may serve as a roadmap for enhancing her game. The broader question remains, will today's rising stars integrate the artistry of past generations into their athletic framework? Or will modern tennis continue its evolution toward power and speed at the expense of tactical nuance? For players like Gauff, the answer may define the next era of women's tennis. Conclusion, a path forward. Coco Gauff's response to critique, measured, reflective, and growth-oriented, demonstrates her potential not just as a champion, but as a student of the sport. She embodies the promise of modern tennis, fierce, resilient, and unafraid to break new ground. At the same time, Kovaleva's warning serves as a reminder that even the most talented athletes can benefit from broadening their skill set, embracing the subtlety that made past champions legendary. In the coming years, the world will watch as Gauff and her peers navigate this delicate balance. If they succeed, women's tennis may enter a golden age where power meets finesse, athleticism is complemented by artistry, and champions are measured not just by speed and strength, but by their mastery of the game's timeless subtleties. Ultimately, the critique is less about condemnation and more about challenge, a call for young stars to rise even higher, to play not only with passion and power, but with intelligence, creativity, and complete command of their craft. Coco Gauff, already a symbol of modern athletic excellence, now has the opportunity to redefine what it means to be a truly complete tennis champion. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.